Hello, everyone. Tassif here. Welcome to my live stream. And we have some really important things to discuss today. And you probably have seen the title of this live stream. So I think you have a pretty good idea about what is it that I'm going to talk about. But before I start the discussion, as always, I would encourage you to participate in the live chat. Okay, so ask me a question, say hello, write the state or the city that you're from, introduce yourself, share your opinions, share any news update that you would like to bring to my attention. Anything you want to talk about, please participate in the live chat window. And during the live stream, I will make sure that I pay attention to the live chat window. Susan Epp is here. Susan, how are you doing? Susan writes, hello, Susan here. Susan, it is so wonderful to see that you've joined. Thank you for being here. I always appreciate your participation, so thank you. And so I'm going to wait for maybe another minute and allow people to join. By the way, Susan, how is the weather where you are? We are having rain, thunderstorm, and, really severe weather here in Wisconsin tonight. And I think, not here in Dane County where I live, but I think in southeast Wisconsin, there was also tornado alerts. And so really adverse weather conditions. But hey, it's nature. What can we do, right? Susan writes, the weather is nice. My daughter-in-law and me took the children to the beach for the afternoon. That is so nice. I hope you had a wonderful time, Susan. That is so great. My friends, as you are joining, please give my video a thumbs up. Okay? Ask your neighbors, ask your friends, ask your family members to also tune in. Tell them about my channel. My channel focuses on social and political issues, both domestic and international. And actually, for today's live stream, I'm going to be discussing both domestic and international issues. Okay, I'm going to get to that in just a few seconds. And we just crossed the 3-minute time mark, so I'm going to go into the discussion. But feel free to write your comments, your questions in the chat window anytime, okay? So thank you all for being here. There's a lot to discuss. And I'm going to talk about, first of all, public safety issues, okay? So I don't know how many of you saw the news that 2 NYPD officers were shot in Queens, New York. So we're talking about Queens, New York. We're talking about 2 New York City Police Department officers. They were shot in Queens, and this is an extremely sad news, okay? I mean, it tells you what the situation is in New York. Police officers being shot. I mean, this is unacceptable. And really, what are the lawmakers in New York doing? I mean, they're so busy giving taxpayer-funded benefits to the illegal immigrants that the lawmakers in New York are not paying attention. The liberal, the far-left lawmakers in New York, they're not paying attention to real public safety issues, okay? I mean, I would say give the law enforcement, the lawmakers are not helping out the law enforcement officers in New York. New York law enforcement officers need more resources to be able to combat crime. And, it's really sad. The liberals in New York, they're busy helping the illegal immigrants. And so I don't know how many of you know the details of this incident, but like I said, 2 NYPD officers were shot in Queens. Sad news. I always support the men and women of law enforcement. I back the badge. I back the blue. I support police officers. So really sad to hear what happened, but let me share with you some details, okay? Reportedly, early in the morning on Monday, the officers were chasing a robbery suspect on a moped. The suspect was reportedly then trying to run away on foot, and then the suspect turned and shot the police officers. The officers also reportedly returned fire, and eventually the suspect was arrested. Thankfully, the officers are okay. The officers were taken to the hospital and they were also reportedly released. Okay, so nothing like extremely serious. Obviously, it's a serious matter that two NYPD officers were shot, but I am thankful, I am grateful that the officers received medical treatment on time and they were also reportedly released. So this was a very dangerous situation, and I am glad that the two officers are okay. And here is something that I must point out. Here's something that I'm going to point out, okay? According to news reports, the suspect has been identified as a migrant from Venezuela. Are you speechless right now? I mean, if you are, you can let me know. Just write in the chat window if you think you're speechless. A migrant from Venezuela. Okay? A foreign national who crossed the southern border, came to the United States. That's the suspect who reportedly shot the police officers. Unbelievable stuff. I mean, Susan writes, not surprises. Yeah, I mean, I guess we have been for a long time. We have been so shocked to read the news coming out of New York, to find out everything that's been going on in New York, shocking stuff every day, that people are not shocked anymore. I mean, this is extremely sad. Extremely sad. And I'm gonna give you some more information here. And this is information I collected from news sources. Okay, I collected from the internet, and you can go read the details. But here's something I must point out: the suspect, as I said, has been identified as a migrant from Venezuela. And this migrant reportedly entered the United States through Eagle Pass, Texas, in July of 2023. So not even a year ago. All right, I'm gonna wait for a few seconds, and feel free to share your reactions, okay? Feel free to let me know what you're thinking. This guy, migrant from Venezuela, who reportedly shot the NYPD officers in Queens. This migrant entered the United States through Eagle Pass, Texas in July of 2023, and now we are in June of 2024. So it has not been a year that this individual came into the United States through the southern border and already shot police officers. This is unbelievable stuff. This is unbelievable stuff happening in our country. I mean, what can I say? You know, I want to hear your reactions. I know there are people watching this live stream. Susan Epp is participating in the live chat. There are others online. If you're watching, if you have thoughts you want to share with me, please feel free to do that. Just write something in the chat window. Okay, your comments. Are you shocked? Do you have any comments you want to share? Do you have any question that you want to ask? Feel free to share, okay? And I'm going to give you more information on this. So let me tell you one thing. this migrant, this Venezuelan migrant who shot the police officers in New York, who reportedly entered the United States through Eagle Pass, Texas in July of 2023, his last known address was a migrant shelter at a hotel in Queens, New York. Even more shocked, are you? Are you even more shocked? This suspect, his last known address was a migrant shelter at a hotel in Queens, New York. What am I going to say? What's happening in New York? What's going on in that state? What's going on in that city? So can you imagine the public safety situation in New York? I mean, would you feel safe going to New York? Would you feel safe going there? I mean, I know millions of people live in New York, but people are suffering. In New York, people are suffering. The hardworking Americans, the freedom-loving Americans, the American citizens living in New York are suffering. And on this channel, I have discussed a lot of details over the last several months. I've discussed a lot of details about illegal immigration and how that is affecting the people of New York, the people of Chicago, the people of Denver, how American taxpayer dollars are being spent on the illegal immigrants, how the liberals are destroying the economy in New York, in Chicago. And you've heard me talk about these issues. And as long as Joe Biden is in office, as long as the Biden administration is in charge, as long as the city of New York has a mayor like Eric Adams, left-wing people, as long as Chicago has a mayor like Brandon Johnson, I mean, left-wing politicians and their policies are destroying our country. So as long as the left-wing politicians are in charge at the local level, at the state level, at the federal level, you know, this situation is not going to improve. The public safety challenges that we are facing, these problems are just going to get worse as long as the far left politicians are in charge. Whether you talk about city government, state government, local government, state government, federal government. Terry is here. Terry, wonderful to see you. Terry writes, "Hi folks, sorry I'm late." Not a problem, Terry. So glad that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for joining, and thanks for participating in the live chat window. I was talking about the news of this Venezuelan migrant reportedly shooting at two NYPD officers. Thankfully, the officers got medical treatment on time and they have been released from the hospital. They are doing okay. But think about how dangerous a situation it was. Billy, so wonderful to see you're here. So good to see Susan, so good to see Terry, so good to see Billy. Thank you all for being here. I've got some important things that I'm discussing during this live stream, and the only topic I discussed so far has been the news about two NYPD officers being shot in Queens. And the suspect is this migrant from Venezuela who entered the United States through Eagle Pass, Texas in July of 2023. So, I mean, illegal immigration is hurting our country every single day. Every single day. We're losing our taxpayer resources. We're losing the safety and security in our communities. It's just getting worse every day. And as I was saying, if the left wing politicians are in charge in New York, in Chicago, at the federal level, then these problems are not going to go away. So Billy writes, I've been watching you from the TV. Okay, well, thank you, Billy. Thanks for watching. So if you're watching from TV, then you're, not able to write comments, right? As I understand. Right, you said can't type anything from there, though. Well, Billy, not a problem. If you're watching me from the TV, if you're watching, I appreciate it, okay? It's okay if you can't write the comments. I understand that. Whatever is comfortable for you. If it's comfortable for you to watch my live stream on TV, then watch my live stream on TV. And whenever you want to send me a message, feel free to do that. You know my website, tossifanam.net. You know my email address, which is tossif@tossifanam.net. And also you can, whenever you can, just comment on my videos. Terry writes, LOL, I watch TV and phone so I can walk around the house. Well, thank you, Terry. I appreciate you watching your TV and phone. All right. So I'm going to move on to the next topic now, which is an extremely important topic. Extremely important. So who's tired of paying high gas prices? Raise your hand. If you're tired of paying high gas prices, raise your hand. Well, I can't see you, so I'm raising my hand. If you're raising your hand, if you're tired of paying high gas prices, write it in the chat window, okay? Because we're going to talk about energy policy now. OPEC is the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, okay? OPEC, you all have heard about it, I'm sure. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Now, OPEC Plus means OPEC countries and its allies. Reportedly, OPEC Plus has agreed to continue cutting its production. You know what that means? The OPEC countries and their allies are cutting production. It means that gas prices in the United States will likely remain high. I mean, how much of more pain and suffering are we going to face as a country? As consumers? I mean, we have been suffering since day one of the Biden administration. And if anyone thought that the gas prices are going to go down, it doesn't seem that way, because OPEC and its allies, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, are cutting production. Less production means price goes up. Simple economics. So it's not good news for us in the United States. And, I'm not going to I'm not going to go into how many millions of barrels they are going to produce, how many millions of barrels they are going to cut, and so on and so forth. You can go on the internet if you're interested in reading the details. Excuse me. I got to connect my laptop to the charger. All right. So if you want to read the details of how many million barrels OPEC's going to produce and how much production they're cutting, you can read all those details on the internet. It's all over the news. So I'm not going to go into all those details, okay? But what I will tell you is that in simple terms, I'll tell you that we as a country, we are losing. The consumers are suffering. We as a country, we have lost our energy independence. We are dependent on foreign oil. And it's extremely sad. We have natural resources in our country. We have natural resources in North America, and we are still dependent on foreign oil. And this is really what happens when we lose energy independence. The OPEC countries and their allies are making decisions based on their needs, based on their priorities. The OPEC countries and their allies are doing what's best for them. And they are cutting production, which means that we, the American consumers, because we as a country, we've lost our energy independence, so we as a country, we're going to suffer now because we'll see that gas prices are going to remain high and maybe even go higher. The OPEC countries are doing what's best for them. But here in America, we have a president, Joe Biden, who does not look at the best interest of the Americans. We have a president, Joe Biden, who does not prioritize American citizens. Remember Trump. When Trump was in office, we achieved energy independence because Trump wanted consumers to have access to affordable energy. I feel like we should find a time machine and just go back to 2018. Go back to 2018, 2017, 2019. Those were the good years because Trump was in office. This OPEC decision, it means that we, the consumers in the United States, we will likely be facing steep prices at the pump. So you want to go to the pump, buy gas, you're probably going to see steep prices. You're probably going to see high prices. Prices are probably not going to come down, but prices may go even higher because OPEC and its allies are cutting production. And I really don't have words to describe the crisis that we are going through. Remember how Biden stopped the Keystone XL pipeline project? Do you remember that? We need a president who will help our country become energy independent. We had a president like that, a hero who we elected in 2016, Donald Trump. We need Donald Trump. We need that American hero back in the White House. We need Donald Trump back in the White House. Because with Joe Biden in office, we as a country, we have been losing and losing and losing. And it seems like our pain and suffering is not over yet. OPEC is cutting oil production. And we, the American consumers, we're going to suffer. So we need Donald Trump in the White House because Donald Trump will make our country energy independent. So my friends, do you have any questions on this? Do you have any comments on this? Do you want to share anything, your thoughts? Please do so, because I'm going to move on to the next topic now. There's something very important that I need to talk about. There's one more topic that I am going to be discussing today. It pertains to New Jersey. That's the clue. If you have seen the title of the live stream, then you already know what I'm going to talk about next. But before I get to that, I want to see if anyone has questions. Oh, I see. You know what? Oh my God, I see so many comments and questions here. For some reason, I was not getting these messages. Okay, now I see all the messages. So let me just catch up, okay? Um, Terry writes, surprisingly, a slight delay on broadcast. Okay, I see that. JW is here. JW writes, hi everyone, sorry I'm late. Billy is writing, you have a P.O. box. I'd like to mail some reading material. Billy, I don't have a P.O. box yet. I may be getting a P.O. box soon. It's a good idea to have a P.O. box. So let me give you an update soon on that. Okay, I don't have a P.O. box right now. So yeah, thank you for asking. I'm gonna get back to you on that. Pamela is here. Pamela writes, hello, Tausif, hello, my dear friends. Pamela, so wonderful to see you. Thank you for being here. And JW is here. JW writes, yep, high gas prices. Billy writes 329 to 353 here. I'm sure you're talking about gas prices, gas price per gallon. JW writes, hi Pamela, hi Terry. Pamela, so I see Pamela is here, Terry is here, JW is here, of course Billy is here, and I'm hoping Susan is still here. Terry writes, more money for gas. Yeah, that's what's happening. You got to pay more money for gas because Biden is in office. JW writes, that means they don't like Biden, right? LOL. I don't know. Good question for the OPEC leaders. Billy writes, higher prices. That's correct, Billy. Higher prices for everything. Groceries, food, everything, gas. Terry writes, higher the gas price, worse for Biden. Yeah, consumers are not going to vote for Biden. Billy writes, it's economic war on us. That's what it feels like, Billy. It seems like it's a war on the American consumers. Pamela writes, it's sickening what is going on. That is true. It's really sickening how inflation, the radical left caused this inflation. Terry writes, our energy independence is right under our feet. Exactly. We have to drill for oil, coal, oil, gas. We got to drill. Drill, baby, drill, right? We've heard that before. Drill, baby, drill. You got to drill. God gave us natural resources, and we have to do our best to make use of the natural resources that we have. If we have coal, if we have oil, if we have gas, we're going to have to use those resources and achieve energy independence. Pamela writes, Biden is giving away things free. Well, Pamela, Biden is giving free things to the illegal immigrants. Not just Biden, the radical left, giving free things to the illegals. Billy writes, one area in Alaska alone has 300 years at $1 a gallon. Oh, I love Alaska, okay? And, I got to do more reading on Alaska to really find out what kind of natural resources we have and what that means for our energy future. But for that, we need Trump back in the White House. Billy writes, under Obama, gas hit $5 a gallon. Well, under Biden, gas hit $5 a gallon right here in Wisconsin. In California, it's even higher. It's even higher. If it's $5, right now it's not $5 a gallon in Wisconsin. It's well over $3 a gallon in Wisconsin. 3.3, 3.4, 3.5. Depends on where you're buying gas from, which part of the state. In Wisconsin, we had $5 a gallon during the Biden administration. And so if it's $5 a gallon in Wisconsin, it's well over $7 a gallon, I think, in California. Okay. Pamela writes, Tausif, Mexico just elected a woman president. I saw, some news updates about Mexico's election. I have not been able to read the details. I saw a photo of the new president and I saw some headlines, but I really haven't read the details. So I'm going to read that. let's see. Mm, I may not be able to respond to all the comments here, so forgive me for that because I'm just reading through them really quickly. Um, so I see some discussion about energy policy here. JW, Billy, thanks for sharing your comments. Um, JW writes, I just can't imagine how this country will survive another 4 years of Biden. Well, you know what? We're going to have to vote and elect Donald Trump. We have to elect Donald Trump. Elect Donald Trump in November 2024. And then we can be on a path to peace and prosperity if Trump is back in the White House. Pamela writes, I'm here. Uh, thank you so much. Billy writes, a Rush fan, LOL. Billy, are you referring to Rush Limbaugh? Is that who you're referring to? Sorry if I have missed a comment. I loved Rush Limbaugh, by the way. You mentioned Rush. I don't know if you're referring to Rush Limbaugh, but I loved Rush Limbaugh. I mean, such a huge loss for our country when Rush Limbaugh passed away. May his soul rest in peace. May his soul rest in peace. Yeah, Rush Limbaugh was great. So, there's something else that I want to discuss. I'm going to get to that here in a minute. First, let me enjoy a sip of my tea. So here's what I'm going to talk about now. Let's go to New Jersey. Oh, Billy writes, when you said drill, baby, drill. Yeah, drill, baby, drill. That's what we need to do. So that's gonna be the energy policy. That's gonna be the energy policy when Trump is in office. Drill, baby, drill. We need more coal, more oil, more gas, right? So we need energy independence. Okay. So JW is writing about the Haley voters. JW, we're gonna have to. So I think so. JW, let me just say this. I think the things that we are worried about. I thought about it, JW, because I kept recommending that Trump pick Nikki Haley as VP. Now it seems like it might be Sarah Sanders. Let me just tell you. I think Trump understands what we're thinking. Okay. Trump has advisors. Trump has analysts who are advising him. And Trump himself is such an intelligent man. So I think he understands. I mean, he analyzes the numbers. He's looking at the Haley voters. And so he understands that Trump understands that he needs to get the independent votes and that he needs to win the votes from the Haley voters. And so I think I have confidence that Trump is going to make the right decision, whoever he picks. JW writes, I sure hope it's not Sarah. Well, you're writing, I sure hope not Sarah. Is there a reason why you don't want Sarah Sanders? Billy writes, I'd rather see Tulsi than Sarah, but I like Sarah. I really don't know who it's going to be. And at this point, I think I'm just going to wait for Trump to make that announcement. Pamela is saying a prayer for Trump. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. We all need to pray for Trump and his family and his friends. And, we need to pray for Trump supporters. And we need to pray for our country. JW writes, I like Sarah, just not for VP. Okay, no, I understand. We all have our choices, our preferences. So I completely understand that. And, I don't know who it's going to be. We have discussed that quite a bit. We may be discussing that again, but at this point, I feel like I'm just going to wait and see what decision Trump makes. Um, so let's see. But you know what? Oh, JW is writing, I like Tulsi better too. I'm still thinking maybe Tim Scott. Tim Scott's a great, great guy. And Tim Scott and Trump, I think they get along well. They have, I think Trump really likes Tim Scott because Tim Scott is such a wonderful person. People like him. Not a surprise. He's great. When he's a good speaker, when he's on stage in front of the camera, he speaks well. He has lots of supporters. So I think Tim Scott's a good choice, but we'll have to wait and see. The next topic that I'm going to talk about is Bob Menendez. You want to talk about Senator Bob Menendez? I'm going to talk about Senator Bob Menendez, okay? Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey. He's seeking a fourth term as senator. He's seeking a fourth term as senator. Robert Menendez, Bob Menendez. He wants to run for re-election. And if you have been following the news, then you know that Bob Menendez is on trial for federal bribery charges. You can just go on the internet and do a search, look it up, you'll find the information, okay? So I'm not going into the details of what the allegations are and what the charges are and what's happening. If you want to look at all the details, you'll find it on the internet. There are news reports out there. All I'm going to say is, in short, what I see in the news, Bob Menendez is on trial for federal bribery charges. Now, Menendez is a Democrat. Bob Menendez is a Democrat U.S. Senator. However, that seems to have changed. Menendez has reportedly filed a petition with close to 2,500 signatures to run for re-election as an independent. I'm going to let you absorb that information. Absorb that information. Bob Menendez, Democrat U.S. Senator from New Jersey. Okay, he's been there for a long time. He is on trial for federal bribery charges, and he decides to run for re-election, and he has reportedly filed a petition with close to 2,500 signatures to run for re-election as an independent. And here's the interesting thing. There is a Democrat frontrunner running for U.S. Senate in New Jersey. That's Congressman Andy Kim. There are other Democrats running as well, but Andy Kim is the frontrunner. That's what's being reported in the news. And there are Republicans running for that seat. So there are Democrats running, there are Republicans running, and the incumbent is Bob Menendez, and he decides to run for re-election as an independent. So this is going to be very interesting. It seems that if it ends up being a three-way race, okay, so let's say that there's a Democrat nominee for U.S. Senate, there's a Republican nominee for U.S. Senate, and then Bob Menendez, the incumbent, runs for re-election as an independent. It's going to be a three-way race, and then I anticipate that the Democrat votes will be split. This is interesting. So Pamela is writing, Tausif, who is he? Sorry, I was typing. Pamela, Bob Menendez is the U.S. Senator from New Jersey. Bob Menendez, U.S. Senator from New Jersey. He's seeking a fourth term. So he's running for re-election. He's a Democrat. And he is on trial, reportedly he's on trial for federal bribery charges, and this Democrat senator decides to run for re-election as an independent. So you need to think about the situation here. New Jersey is a heavily Democrat state. Bob Menendez is a longtime U.S. Senator, Democrat, who's running for re-election as an independent. So that means there's going to be a Democrat nominee for U.S. Senate. And right now the front runner is Andy Kim, who's a congressman. And there's going to be a Republican nominee for U.S. Senate. And then Bob Menendez, the Democrat incumbent, he decides to run for re-election as an independent. So if it ends up being a three-way race with a Democrat, a Republican, and an independent, you know what's going to happen? I mean, this is not just any independent. This independent has been a U.S. Senator for many years. He's a Democrat, now running as an independent. So if it ends up being a three-way race, I anticipate that the Democrat votes will be split. Some Democrats, they are going to vote for Bob Menendez, the independent candidate now. Some Democrats will vote for whoever the Democrat nominee for Senate is. If it's Andy Kim, they'll vote for Andy Kim. So the Democrat votes are going to be split between the Democrat incumbent, the Democrat front runner, the Democrat nominee, and Bob Menendez running as independent, which means that this might result in a Republican victory. So there's a possibility, my friends, that a Republican may end up winning a U.S. Senate seat in New Jersey. And wouldn't that be awesome? Share with me your thoughts on this. Do you think that would be awesome? I think it would be wonderful. I think it's going to be great if that happens. If the Democrats, they split their votes between the Democrat nominee and the independent, then the Republican candidate, the Republican nominee for U.S. Senate, whoever that's going to be, may end up winning the U.S. Senate seat. And that's going to be just amazing. And so there may be a Republican victory. There may be a Republican victory. Republicans may be able to win that U.S. Senate seat in New Jersey. That's going to be awesome. And let's not forget that Donald Trump held a massive rally in New Jersey. So Donald Trump is also focused on New Jersey, which I think would, in general, energize the Republicans in that state. So if the Democrats, they split their votes, and the Republicans, they stay united, then the Republican nominee for U.S. Senate in New Jersey may end up winning that election. So we may have a Republican U.S. Senator from New Jersey, and that would be awesome. Because see, what I keep telling you is that we have to win the White House. The Republicans will have to increase the size of the majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. And the Republicans will also have to regain the majority in the U.S. Senate. Can we do all that? It is possible. Republicans will have to stand together, unite. We have to be united to win. It's going to be very interesting, my friends. And I'm glad that Trump is focusing on New Jersey. It's a blue state, but he's focusing on it. You know, something amazing may happen this November. Something amazing may happen. So, my friends, that's all that I had today to discuss, really. I mean, there are so many other things happening in this country and around the world. There's a lot that I wish to talk about. By the way, did you all watch the video that I published earlier this evening There's a video of me in the car driving and sharing some thoughts about the future of the country. It's a short video, maybe less than 6 minutes, something maybe like 5 minutes, between 5 and 6 minutes, I think. If you have not watched that video, please do so. I would really appreciate it. Okay, and please, as you're here, give this video a thumbs up. Like this video. Help me spread my message. Help me reach more people. Thank you so much. I would really appreciate that. Okay. Pamela writes, we love Trump in California. More and more people in blue states are now loving Trump. More and more people in New York, more and more people in New Jersey, more and more people in California are and Minnesota are now loving Trump. So, we have to win this. We have to win this election. So, my friends, anything else you want to discuss? I know we just crossed the 46-minute time mark. I'm here. These three things I wanted to first discuss, and now we can talk about any topic. JW writes, more people in Colorado. Yeah, Colorado has been suffering. I mean, Denver in particular, because of illegal immigration. Okay, it's Biden's illegal immigration. So Americans in Denver, they have been suffering. So more and more people in Colorado are now going to be supporting Trump. JW writes, yes, Trump support growing in many blue states. That is absolutely correct. And I anticipate it's going to keep growing. More and more people. They are going to be supporting Trump. We have to move the needle. Slowly, very slowly. We have to turn the blue states into red states. Pamela writes, hot chocolate and cookies night. Well, Pamela, yeah, sorry that we haven't been able to do that yet. But let's do it soon, okay? I think this week is going to be very busy for me. I'm going to, perhaps we can do it next week. That would be awesome. See, today I was outside and it was stormy and rainy and, there were even tornado alerts in some other counties, not Dane County, some other counties in southern Wisconsin. And so, I got back home and see, I'm still wearing my outside clothes. And I just wanted to start the live stream here. So we're going to plan a hot chocolate and cookies night, Pamela. We're going to do it soon. What I'm going to do is I'll announce it ahead of time. Hot chocolate and cookies night, and then we can all just, as we are chatting. Well, right now I've got tea, but I can sit here with hot chocolate and cookies, and we can all chat. We're gonna do that, okay? Arletta is here. Arletta writes, "Hey y'all, got here in time." Well, thank you, Arletta. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you joining. I hope you're doing well. Terry writes, LOL, outside clothes. Yeah, the clothes that I was wearing outside when I was driving. You've seen that video, outside clothes. It's not my, Hawaiian shirt or my t-shirt, not my flowery shirt. Billy writes, you had to say stormy. Oh, this stormy means the storm. The weather alert, okay? The hazardous weather, okay? When the folks on TV tell you to take shelter and to drive carefully, and they tell you how much of rain and hail we're gonna get, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about thunderstorm. I'm not talking about the stormy that you're probably referring to, Billy. Not the stormy that resulted in this sham trial. The stormy issue. Okay, JW is laughing now, saying stormy. Okay. Uh, Billy writes, LOL, I know. Also, let me just say this. I may be having, so this is a little bit of an early announcement. I'm still trying to work out the details, but I may be having a guest on my live stream very soon. Okay. Um, it's not going to be happening this week, but I may be having a guest, a fellow Republican, um, on this live stream very soon as a guest. And anyone who has been following my channel, you know that I've never had a guest on my show. And so I may soon be having a guest, maybe for an hour, to join me in a discussion, and so I'm still working on the details, and I'm gonna let you know who that's gonna be. And what I'm gonna do is announce that live stream at least 1 or 2 days ahead of time, okay, so that you have the opportunity to know when the live stream is going to be, and accordingly you can tune in. So usually for these live streams, I announce sometimes half hour, sometimes 1 hour or 2 hours before I do the live stream. But for that live stream, if I have a guest on my show, I'm going to announce the live stream at least a day or two in advance, so that you can read the details and plan on tuning in, so that you know when I'm going to be doing the live stream. And the timing will be in Central Time. So if you're in the Eastern Time Zone, if you are in the Pacific Time Zone, you're going to have to plan accordingly. Arletta writes, I heard New York is going to vote. Oh my God, Arletta, I just read your comment and I'm shocked. Okay, did I hear that? Did I hear that? Let me do a search. Let's see. Oh, wait. I see some news on that. I see some news on that. Yeah, I see that. Okay. So I may address that on a different day, because I'm going to have to read all the details of this. But thanks for bringing it to my attention, Arlette. I appreciate it. Terry's writing, yes, enough time to think of question for your guest. Yeah, so I'm still finalizing the details of my live stream with the guest. But yes, I think the format will be that I'll have a set of questions that I'll ask, and we're just gonna have discussion. So okay, we are getting close to the 60-minute time mark. I think we're past 53 minutes, and so I am going to be wrapping up this live stream here very soon. So let me just read some things here. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So I just had to check something on my computer. Okay. All right. So we're getting close to the 1 hour time mark, my friends. Thank you for being here. Oh, Pamela is writing, Tausif, can we say the Pledge of Allegiance? Absolutely, Pamela. Absolutely, we can do that. So let's do that. Let's wrap up this live stream. We're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and thank you so much, Pamela, for bringing that up. We're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. JW, we actually did that. I don't think it was the previous live stream, maybe like a few live streams ago, right? We did the Pledge of Allegiance, I think. I forget the date. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance again. So I'm going to stand up, and I do have a US flag right here. You can't see it on camera. It's right here. It's over here. I've got a US flag, and so I'm going to stand up and say the pledge, and you can all join me. And then after that, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. So let's do that, okay? And then obviously I'll be back with more live stream and more content. So, all right, before I do the Pledge of Allegiance, I'm going to give you maybe 30 seconds. Why don't you get ready, wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. So find a flag in your room, and then in a few seconds, we're going to stand up. I'm going to do the pledge, and then we are going to be wrapping up this live stream. Okay, are you all ready? If you're ready, just write yes, and then we're going to do it, because I'm going to stand up for the pledge when you're ready, because I'm ready. Oh, JW writes, oh yes, I saw the Pledge of Allegiance. I was here that day. Oh yes, so you were here. Okay, great. So Terry writes yes, JW writes yes, Arletta writes yes, Pamela writes yes. So thank you all. Billy, I hope you're ready too. Let's do the pledge, and then I'm going to wrap up this live stream, okay? All right. So I'm going to stand up. Okay. So I'm going to stand up. Here I am. Billy writes yes. So we're going to do the pledge, and then we're going to wrap up this live stream, okay? Are you all ready? Let's do it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much. And Pamela, thank you for bringing that up again. I appreciate it so very much. We are proud Americans. We are proud Americans. We love our flag. We love our country. We love our national anthem. And so, we've got an amazing country, the greatest country in the world. And so we have to do what we can to protect our country. We have to protect our freedom. We have to protect our constitutional rights. And, we have to do what we can as American citizens to make this country even greater, right? So we have a lot of challenges that we are facing, but we are strong, we are determined. We love our country, we love our freedom, and we're gonna work hard. So no matter how big the challenges may be, no matter how difficult the situation may get, we're not going to lose hope. We're going to keep fighting, and we will make America greater than ever before, okay? So there's a lot of work that we have to do, and I am so proud. I am so proud that, I get to share my thoughts with all of you, and I get to hear from you, and we have this wonderful community where we just have conversation about so many important things, and we have the same goal. We have the same goal. We want America to be on a path to peace and prosperity. Right now, we have so many challenges, financial challenges, a lot of unrest, lots of issues in different communities. And so we want to be on a path heading towards peace and prosperity. And it is possible. We have to have hope. We have to pray for our country, and we have to work hard, okay? And we have to be fearless and vocal and exercise our constitutional rights. I always talk about how I exercise my First Amendment right to free speech. I speak, I write, I share what's on my mind. As an American, I can do that, and that's what I'm doing. So, my friends, thank you all. Pamela, once again, thank you for mentioning the Pledge of Allegiance. And so we had the opportunity to say the pledge. Everyone who tuned in today, Susan, Terry, Billy, JW, Arletta, Pamela, all of you. Am I missing someone? If I'm missing someone, I'm really sorry. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Um, and have a wonderful night. And I'll be back with more videos, more content, more live stream, more opinions, more analysis. And, I look forward to talking to you all again soon. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.